What were you into as a kid?
I mean, at that point, I was very interested. Even at that point, I was very interested in neuroscience. I wanted to be a neuroscientist because I'd seen my grandmother disintegrate with Alzheimer's, and I was also very interested just in learning in general and how you could accelerate learning from a very young age because it just seemed like there was a wide open field of possibility there that folks weren't exploring, and we can dive into that. I was also a wrestler. That was the only sport I was ever any good at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was born premature. I was tiny, super hyperactive, and one of my mom's friends was like, "You got to put that boy in kid wrestling to tire him out." And because I was so puny, I just got the crap kicked out of me all the time until about sixth grade. And like team sports were out. I would just get massacred.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't even go out to recess until probably like fourth or fifth grade because it was just like being out in the prison yard. I'd just get
Wow.
the crap kicked out of me. So I would just stay inside safely near the teacher and read books, mostly on marine biology. Um, because my parents, actually, this is something my parents did. I want to give them credit. We didn't have a lot of money, but my mom said, if you want books, we always have budget for books. And so we would go to the bookstore and there were remainder tables, these books that the bookstore's trying to get rid of. And like, that was the permissible real estate. It's like, all right, you get to choose from these books, which are
Nice.
like 40, 60, 80% off. And got a big hardcover book called Fishes of the World. And out on Eastern Long Island, maybe people don't know this, but lots of sharks and great whites, and the crazy shark fisherman from Jaws was actually based on a guy named Frank Mundus, who was a
No kidding.
rod and reel shark hunter off of Montauk. And so my mom took me to meet him. I was fascinated by sharks, and uh, that is just a roundabout way of saying for a long time, it was not safe for me to go into kind of like group sports. So my mom threw me into kid wrestling, weight class, right? It's like puny kid versus puny kid, perfect. And that stuck all the way up until the beginning of college. And so wrestling was the center of my athletic life.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just
Gotcha.
if you want to get good at sufferfest, wrestling is a good way to do it.
I was a wrestler too.
Yeah.
Very familiar. Also puny. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, so I would say those are a few things that I was into. I was very interested in drawing. I think just genetically, there's my grandfather was a sculptor. Seems to be something just in the bloodline for that. So I was always drawing. So I kind of had, I guess, three in tandem, right? The neuroscience and cognitive performance and stuff, that was an interest. And I thought, oh man, it could be really interesting to be a scientist. And then there was the marine biology also, right? The intersection of science. But then there was comic book penciler. I wanted to be a comic.
Comic book penciler.
Yeah, yeah. I still have all my comic books from when I was a kid. So I wanted to be a comic book penciler. But this was pre-Marvel Studios, like before. I mean, you were basically signing up for poverty if you were a comic book penciler back in the day. Nonetheless, still like a lot of icons and idols to this day. I have so much respect for. Jim Lee was one of my favorites. So I still draw. Like I still get into it. But for a long time, I wanted to take that path.
Right on.
So those are some of the early stages.